So hi everyone, welcome to U Talks. We are meeting after a little bit of gap. We have a very special guest today, Mr. Gajender Sharma. And for those of you who don't know, I will be sharing a little bit of a slide about him so that the audience who is watching on the video can have a good glimpse about him. So Gajender Sharma is an author. He is an Indian by birth and he has traveled in 20 plus countries, he lived in 5 countries. And he also has a great Twitter account for the Positive Drive. He's a special person who has multiple various interests. And being in a very senior corporate position, staying in Japan for over almost 2 decades, he has actually developed interest in writing. And not only just developing interest in writing, but also, writing books. I know Gajendra is also a senior from my college. So it's a great pleasure to talk to Gajendra. Gajendra, welcome.
Thank you very much, Mukesh, for having me.
So Gajendra, I was thinking to talk to you for a while, and today is a day. I know you are taking this call from the car, and which means that you have a pretty busy day. And I'm sure you must be thinking while driving and writing few things also while driving.
Yeah, always,
So today, we are going to have a little bit informal chat for our audience who might take some inspiration from you. And I think you have been doing an excellent job as a corporate professional and then the automotive industry, very busy life, and also doing a very credible job in writing as well. So your first book, which came a couple of years ago, I got a hang of it, and we'll talk today about Will You Not Buy Strawberry Today? A very, very interesting topic. And then your recent book, which is probably could be a great interest. Probably I'm sure Steven Spielberg might be trying to chase you for this 23rd June 2169.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows, Mukesh?
So I think this is really a great transition from a book on philosophy and the human minds, and then going into something really fiction. So we'll be talking about all of that today, and we are very fortunate to have you. So my first question, Gajendra, is that coming to the point straightforward, is writing a meditative process?
Yeah, it's a great question. It's a great question, Mukesh. Just to share with you, in 2000 and I've lived in Japan. You have also lived in Japan, and you're also now in Shanghai. So you have also traveled to different parts of the world. So I was always having this incidents, in life. When I came to Japan, 1998, I had some incidents. Then also I had an incident in a noodle shop. I had an incident with ANA, the company, the airline company. So I was always thinking that from those incidents that I should write about them, because every incident had a story, and right. I used to call a noodle story, a ginger story, and I was thinking, oh, one day I should write a book about it. And I was always thinking about it. And then in 2016, one day I thought, should I wait till I retire? Because that was the idea, that maybe I will write when I retire, because then I will have a lot of time. So I said, yeah, let's wait. I have all the stories. When I will finish my job, I will start writing.
Right.
But something told me that you don't have to wait. You can start. Right. You can start writing. And the stories were there. The headlines were there. The stories were there in the mind. And you start writing. And so I think, I don't know, when you say meditative process, I understand you are meaning that it is there's a structure behind. I understand in that way. Is that the question, right?
I think I always feel that writing is like living with an idea for too long. And that's what probably, authors are gifted with. So, writing 2 books certainly means that somewhere you have figured out that process of meditating on a single thought.
Okay, no, I understand your point. So basically, yes, it's about, as I told you, series of ideas, series of stories, real life incidents happening, and so those were there at back of my mind. So I just had to bring them together. I said, okay, why not start writing? And the interesting thing, Mukesh, is that when you start writing, you discover something new, completely different. I didn't have HUMAN CIM in my mind.
Right.
When I was writing my book, I never thought about HUMAN CIM. But when I wrote 9 stories about my first book, I realized that it was about there was some connection in the book. And that was the insight from the book. So yeah, definitely, it is a meditative process. You have some thoughts in your back of mind, and then you start writing. And when you start writing, then it becomes a book.
Right. So my next question again is on the same thing which you were touching. In your book, Will You Not Buy Strawberry Today? what is this human sim? And you were talking about the 9 stories, you have written. Which story do you like the most? So first, we'd like to a little bit hear from you. What is this human sim?
Okay, so as I was telling my previous question, it's connecting very well to the first question. When I was writing, and suddenly I realized that the stories have some connection among them, and for sure, there's a lot of topics about, does universe send us message? Do we meet people for the reason? I mean, did I meet you for a reason? Maybe yes, because we are talking today after 11 years. We are here, and that also tells you that there is some reason behind. So the human SIM as an idea came from the SIM card we have in the mobile phone.
Right.
So SIM is something which everybody knows, and the idea to put human SIM was the same. To say human being, we don't have a physical SIM inside, but it's like the connection, the interaction, and the mindset. And these three things are very important in life. Right. So Will You Not Buy Strawberry Today is about an interaction story which I had in Tokyo. So what you like the most story? I think all nine stories are my favorite. But because the book title is Will You Not Buy Strawberry Today, that's my favorite story. In which I was buying strawberries for a month in Tokyo, in Japan, and this particular shopkeeper was always observing me. And one day I said, I will not buy the strawberry, and then this comment was, will you not buy strawberry today? That was the statement made. Excellent. And that stayed with me. That stayed with me for almost 20 years. And when I was writing the book, and I was thinking, what should I title the book? I could have titled my book Human Sim also. Right. But then I dedicated this whole thing to that particular incident.
So this is so interesting that, you titled the book, Will You Not Buy the Strawberry Today? Because this was something you were doing on a daily basis. But just for the audience, when you say CIM, connection, interaction, and mindset. So, and you also mentioned in your book that there are some signals which come through the universe, and somehow your vectors are aligned, and then you end up taking some decisions in your life. Either it could be through your some past feelings or current feelings, or maybe a decision influenced by what you see around. So how do you talk about this interaction with the people, and does it changes the mindset in the set or the atmosphere you live in? If you would have been probably doing your job after your MBA in Paris, would it have shaped you differently? Or I mean, it is not difficult to think that where you live your mindset changes, but because you have written about it, any views on that?
No, for sure. I think many audience, and maybe you also might have your own view, Mukesh. We all are shaped by our choices in life.
Right.
I met you. We kept in connection. We are meeting today again. It's a choice. You made a choice. I made a choice.
11 years. We're talking after 11 years.
Talking after 11 years. So you made a choice. I made a choice. We were in touch through LinkedIn and through WhatsApp. So it's a choice. And we have today decided to both connect and interact. So the connection was there. We were connected already. Interaction is what is happening today.
Right.
And mindset is really when you send me a message, do I accept that and say, hey, Mukesh has written to me, let me communicate with him, or let me go forward with this conversation? It's all together, So mindset is all about openness. It's all about, do I want to interact further with this person? I mean, the shopkeeper in the book, Will You Not Buy Strawberry Today, could have not made a comment.
Right.
So there would not be a connection, and there would not have been an interaction, and the mindset, and the book was not there. I can tell you, the book is there because of that statement, But for sure, there are all other stories inside. And the topic is, sometimes I have a personal feeling that the life is designed, and everything is designed. You don't choose it. Did I meet you for a reason? Maybe yes. Maybe we are talking today in this format. It could be the reason, yeah. And the topic for me is, Mukesh, it's all about how you open up when situations are in front of you. Right. Do you have a mindset that you want to interact with people when they talk to you? Or you say, no, I will keep my thoughts to myself. And sometimes we meet people and we want to help them. There's no reason behind that.
Right.
So it comes with a mindset. Sometimes you interact with people and it helps them out. You were also telling me about how your talks had helped certain people. So, and somehow I believe that if we are respecting these three elements of humanity, that we are all connected. there's nothing wrong to interact with people, and being open, having a mindset to interact with people, then life is very beautiful. Everything is so good. I mean, I have a ginger story in my book, where I was not feeling well, and I asked the shopkeeper, can I get a ginger lemon tea?
Right.
She went out all the way to buy ginger. She didn't have ginger in her shop.
Excellent.
There was no need for her to buy ginger. She went out.
I think this
So
is
this is what I'm talking about, that whether you want to interact with the person, whether you have a mindset to do something, take an extra mile and go and do something out of it. And that's what makes this humanity beautiful. And that's where the human sim comes from.
Excellent. I mean, it's very nice thought you have put in, that the connection stays, with the people we meet. The interaction may be sporadic or intermittent, it remains. The mindset of, connecting again and being in touch, and it can really do a lot of magic. So I'm sure that there will be some people would be buying the strawberry today for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I love strawberry, for sure. I mean, they can buy strawberry. If they like the book, they can also buy the book.
So my next question to you now is coming on to your new book. This is the 23rd June 2169. So briefly tell something about the book, without giving any spoilers to our audience. I feel very excited looking at this title, and I'm very excited to know about this.
Yeah, this is my also one of my favorite books. It goes 148 years in the future. I mean, when I wrote it, it was 149 years in the future. And I mean, it's about the future. It's an event. The date is an event. And just to tell the audience, and also to you, Mukesh, it's about that some scientists in the world are trying to launch an artificial Earth in the orbit between Earth and Mars. And that's the date.
Right.
That's the date when this event will happen. And the book is actually, as you understand very well, it's an expression of how I think about the future. So then if I want to tell you and tell everyone, look, this is what I want to, this is what I think about the future, and I have to talk 222 pages, nobody wants to listen to me, So I said, okay, these are my thoughts. Let's write a story. Let's write a science fiction that how it could look like. And the book is all about that with the technology, with what is going on already, which you might have read it, that Mars Land Rover Perseverance already landed yesterday. It's 2021. We are talking about 2169. Imagine what can happen. So the life in 2169 is that there is already a population on Moon. Mars is inhabited. We are not talking about world anymore. We're talking about intergalactic communication. We're talking about people marrying people from Mars. And we are talking about holo-humans. We're talking about robots. We're talking about having robot friends, holo-human friends. You're talking to me in 2169. You might be talking to robots, holo-human in the same Zoom call, or maybe it's a different call.
Absolutely.
The 5G is no more. Maybe it's a different technology. I talk about hyper intelligence, or I talk about the next level of 5G. It's a different level of G. And the population of Earth has grown to 12 billion, and the Moon also. And there are scientists. There are scientists, very good scientists in these planets, and how they interact and how they make this project together. So that is all about the book, that how things will change, how the universal basic income will become same all over the world, how there will be only one currency, how everything will be on demand, how and more. I mean, I can talk about the book for hours.
Excellent,
but
excellent.
This is about.
This is very, 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 very interesting to know, Gajendra, that you have been able to use your engineering knowledge, your management stuff, your creative forecast as an author. And while listening to the narrative which you were describing for the 2169, I think it looks amazing, because while we have been seeing a lot of fictional stories and movies of Spielberg's and all, but putting into all book, I'm pretty sure that Gajendra, we lost you in between your video. I hope you can hear me. Yeah. So
yeah, I can hear you.
I was saying that, I'm sure that your son is now 12 years old. You must ask your son, because, and with the God bless, I'm sure that your grandson, if he lives for 80, 85, he would definitely strike that date in his lifetime. And they must, look at your book, which is written by their grandfather.
Yeah, of course, Mukesh, if I could live for that long and see it, that'll be great. But But as you see that we are currently already seeing things, like robots and the Land Rover going to Mars. It's already happening. It's only about time when things will be there. So this is a projection, and let's hope it goes in that way, in the future.
Right, right. But I'm very, very, it's very interesting to see that you wrote your first book on the human sim, then you moved on to, a mixture of using the technology mindset and fiction side. So my next question to you as an author, and sometime, I wonder is that, uh, how much it is difficult as an author, the difference between writing, fiction about history or writing fiction about the future.
Yeah, I think writing a fiction about the history, I mean, the characters, and the future, you have to create the characters. So I had to create a character called Zach Tommy, and the name is so different. It has to be a futuristic name.
Right,
so I had to come, I had to research in Google. I had to think whether this name is not existing.
Right.
So that was one thing. And plus you have to project things in the future. Yeah. So that was the part which was, I would say, very exciting. And very how do I say, also I was trying to understand if these names are not there, so that was very, very interesting for me. And
Tommy, your character has influence of some Japanese character, or is it country neutral?
Yeah, no, there's nothing about any link to Japan, India, or anyone. It's just a name which came, while I was and just to share with you this meditative process, I had this, how do you say, I had this, I normally have a habit of taking a piece of paper and writing the characters. And then when you write the characters, you start to think what kind of character this should be. And I was thinking, what name it should have. And that's how that's how I got Zektomi, and the very another character, Zoe. And it's similar to Zed, but somehow Zoe sounds very interesting to me, and said, okay, why not do this then? Yeah, in having these two names. And then and the funny thing is that when you have best scientists from Mars and Moon, then their name was Superma and Supermo. So basically, Superma means the super scientist from Mars, and Supermo means super scientist from Moon.
Excellent.
And that was the idea. Yeah, that was the idea.
But is the book readable by the kids? Does the language is? I mean, kids. When I say kids, like under 9, under 10.
Yeah, actually, that's a very, very good question. I don't know, to be honest. Yeah, so they can read it. The language is simple, but somebody has to explain them what the technology means. What is 5G means. Maybe they might have to explain what is holohuman means. What is holographic technology. Maybe with that, maybe kids can also read the book. Yeah.
I think we should do a session on this book with some kids. Maybe we can plan in future, but it's very, very interesting to know that. So my final question to you, Gajendra, seeing the limitation of time. So what are you now working on currently? Let's say author's mind always keeps on high observation. What are you working on?
I mean, I think Mukesh, first, I would like you to read the book and tell me the feedback, how you like the ending. Absolutely. So if you have read the book, then I could have told you my next book, but I cannot tell you now because otherwise people will understand why I'm saying the title of the book. So, but basically, for sure, I would like to write the sequel of the book. But this is something which I would like to do. In the meantime, with Corona and all this, I was very much inspired by how people have, succeeded in these difficult times. Right. And for me, what has happened definitely in Corona is perspectives. Right. The perspectives have changed of people, and in many ways, I was meeting one of my friend who said he was with his mama's place, like his mother's brother place, and there they lived, which they normally don't live in that way now. Right. So I was thinking, oh, that's a very interesting thing, that people perspectives have changed. Why not write a book on perspectives? And that is one thought I have. But second thing, which I recently decided, or which was also in back of my mind since long time, is to write about how people are, come in our life as good messengers, meaning they are there to help you. They are there to connect with you for your next step. So I believe all of us have those messengers who come without anything, without telling us. They pass a good message and they are there and they leave and they're connected with us, but we don't realize them, that how they have helped us in our next life, personal life, or even professional career. And this is something very, very interesting. I mean, if I have time, I would like to maybe also discuss with you in the future. So yeah, 2 books in mind currently: Perspectives and Messenger. And
Excellent. Excellent.
that's in the pipeline. Yeah.
Well, I didn't had this question in my mind, but because you touched upon the perspectives and talk messengers and all, let's say my final question is that as an author, you write for yourself or you write for the audience?
Actually, this is a very, very good question, or maybe I would say excellent question. Why do authors write? I mean, in my opinion, I've written 2 books. You want to express yourself, actually. That's the first thing. You want to express yourself, but at the same time, there is a sense of also understanding or commitment to send the message out to the world where people might get some inspiration and might get help.
Right.
You know, for example, my book, I was very surprised that my book, Will You Not Buy Strawberry Today, in France, there's a category called the corona, like how when people are in quarantine, which books are doing well. And I was very surprised that my book was like 357th rank in France, the Will You Not Buy Strawberry Today, because people were reading it because it is about motivation. Right. So this was not the intention, but this is the result. Right. So I think overall, it is also about supporting young students, professionals, and everyone who could learn something about it, and and makes different. It will, if it makes a little bit difference in lives of people, I'm very happy. I mean, that's also something which is behind, which is not expressed, but which is also behind that, how people can utilize those thoughts for themselves.
Right. I think it's a very well answered when you write. You want to express yourself, but while writing, you get a little bit of cognition that where you are reaching, and you want to be more meaningful for them. So I think this great blend starts happening, and that's where the authors can reach to more people. Wonderful. Yeah. Gajendra, I think it's lovely talking to you while we are meeting, probably almost a decade, but as like you say, the connection, interaction, and the mindset, the human sim was always active, always charged. And I think probably we'll do another session, especially with kids, on your futuristic and future fictional items. So
actually, that's a very, I never thought about this, Mukesh. Thank you very much. Actually, I just realized that this human sim is maybe the connection which is keeping the whole world in going as a humanity.
Absolutely. I totally agree. I agree. Because that is the probably a quantum power actually, which powers all of us.
Yeah.
Thank you, Gajendra. I know you're in a travel mode, but thanks. You could take out the time on a short notice as well, and then also a busy day. I know Saturday, a lot of work with family and all. But wishing you all the best for your perspectives in the Messenger one, and also the 2169 book. And we'll keep in touch. Thank you so much for spending time with us.
Thank you so much, and all the best, Mukesh.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.